GPS on it. It's put on a map. It's documented, and that at the end of the season, all that information goes to the state and U.S. Fish and Wildlife. So far, we have documented 2 nests. So
Nice.
again, before it started, before May 1, so the state wants to know, what the activities of sea turtles outside of that official date. So we've got 2 nests. Both of them are on Bonita Beach. We have
Okay.
had one what's called a false crawl, or in other terms, a non-nesting emergence
Okay.
on Fort Myers Beach. The turtle came ashore but did not nest. So we're waiting for her and many others. This
She's
year
looking
should-
for better property, I guess, or
Well, where she came ashore in what we call Zone 9, which is at the south end of the island in the
Uh-huh.
critical wildlife area, actually. Not sure why she didn't nest, but it just didn't quite get it. Sea
Okay.
turtles come back to the place where they themselves hatched.
oh,
So
interesting.
perhaps that location has changed a little bit. So she's looking for, or she may have been the turtle that went a little bit further south and nested on Bonita Beach.
I did want to make a quick mention to the big crowd that we have here. If you do want to listen, you can listen on iHeartRadio or Spotify or the Beach Talk Radio app. So
Okay.
we are live on Facebook, but if you don't have Facebook on your phone, you can listen that way. And so, Eve, I have been asking the wife and everybody this question
Here we go.
that might know anything about turtles, because I don't know anything about turtles. When can you run, and how, if you're running in the dark on the beach, what should you not do, or when is it okay, or what kind of light can you use?
Well, ideally, there should be no light on the beach. If you're running, you might want to use a red LED headlight. That would help you. But we discourage people using an iPhone or certainly a flashlight. And that is because sea turtles are nocturnal animals. They see in the dark. We don't. And when a light appears, it can scare her away from nesting attempts. Or if during hatching season, the hatchlings see the light, it can disorient them, and they end up not going into the ocean as they should, but rather they will just wander around, end up on the street, or are essentially lost and can die.
Okay, so how many turtles hatch from a hatchling?
The average from a nest, the average number of
I don't know anything about turtles. Feel
Well,
free to
I'm here
correct me at
I'm
any
here
time.
I'm
Thank
here
you.
to teach you. The average number of eggs that a turtle will lay is about 120. We're talking about loggerhead sea turtles now.
Mhm.
And out of those 120, maybe 80% will hatch. A turtle, any given turtle, loggerhead that is, may nest maybe on the average 7 or maybe even as many as 9 times a season. And she could
Wow.
theoretically, listen to this though, she could theoretically lay close to 1,000 eggs. Out of those 1,000 eggs, and this is really, really important, only 1 to 4 hatchlings will survive. And that's why it is
Wow.
so essential and so important that we make the beach turtle friendly, which means no lights visible on the beach.
Okay.
And that if you should, while you're running, encounter a turtle, don't go up to her. She sees you, and because of her nocturnal vision, but just stay way back, and you can certainly watch that awesome event, but don't ever approach a turtle. Do not ever shine a light on her. Do not ever take a flash photograph.
Well-
They are protected by law.
I stopped running on the beach because I was afraid that I was doing something. One guy really yelled at me. I just think he yelled at me because he didn't like the light I had. It wasn't even turtle season, but now running over the bridge. You know how hard it is to run over the bridge? That's how much a turtle fan I am now. I run over the bridge because I don't want to affect the turtles. So
and it's helping your health. Isn't
yes,
it?
yeah, well,
See?
not really. It's killing my knees, but that's another story.
I'm so,
So
sorry.
the question I have, Eve, is, well, it's not your fault. I mean, you're saving the turtles. Why do the turtles run like crazy or crawl like crazy into the water? Now they're just making themselves bait, right? For fish.
First of all, turtles. You're talking about the hatchlings, right?
Yeah.
The
Oh my
hatchlings.
Oh, they're not called a turtle. They're not
No,
called a turtle yet
they
when they're
are.
first born.
But
Some
you're talking
people
about
call
the
them turtlettes, but yeah, turtle. Okay,
I'm not saying that
their
word.
survival, their survival instinct is to reach the water as quickly as possible to escape predators. And predators on the beach could be ghost crabs, fire ants, even nocturnal birds. You know, the night herons. So their inclination, their survival technique is to get into the water as quickly as possible. And yes, they are part of the food chain in the marine ecosystem. But when you have this many hatchlings going in, it will be survival of the fittest, and there will be certainly turtles have survived for over 200 million years. So that mechanism of all these hatchlings making it into the water, yet being part of the food chain, has worked. If they all survived, I jokingly say we could walk across the ocean. The balancing the ocean has worked for 200 million years. The problem is we humans have affected that balance by interfering with turtles, even laying nests. We've changed the habitat. We've introduced lights so that turtles, can't find their way back to the ocean, or they become disoriented. So it has all worked very well, but we just need to become more turtly friendly, turtly cognizant, and we're here to help people do that.
What about, the condos that are on the beach, or lights from houses that sit directly on the beach? Do those affect the turtles as well?
Extremely. This
Okay.
is exactly the population that we are addressing when we talk about turtle-friendly beaches. All buildings along the beach have to have either the amber LED lights recessed in a canister. People must close their drapes.
Okay.
And now we're really pleased to say, for instance, the Pink Shell has converted all their patio lights to amber LED amber LED lights. And they're wonderful. They provide a lot of light. We don't expect anybody to honker in the dark. We do not want to compromise anyone's safety.
We have a question from the live audience. We have a live studio audience all over America. I
Hi
bet you
there.
didn't know that. Jerry wants to know that you said 1 out of 4 of 1,000.
1 to 4.
1 to 4. He's right. He wrote it right. I can't read it right. 1 to 4 out of 1,000 make it. Where do those numbers come from?
That is based on long-term data that, that number based on the number of nests, the number of turtles that have been tagged, and it's based on long-term data. I mean, it's may not be 100% accurate, but it is a figure that we use.
Do you guys lay on the beach in ninja outfits with night vision goggles and watch this? What does that mean?
No.
Do you do that? Is that part of something you do to watch and see how it? I think that would be cool. Like take a schoolroom full of kids and get them all dressed up like ninjas with
too much interference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We know
They probably smell you.
Too much stress on the turtles.
We don't need to be out there. We really discourage people going out. And, because as I said, sea turtles are nocturnal. They see very well in the dark. We know exactly what has happened in the morning light. We can read sand. We know where each and every little track went. And ideally, what we want to see is little baby tracks going from the collapsed nest straight into the ocean.
Did you see any tracks this morning?
Not yet.
Okay,
no.
It's too early?
Well, I'm sorry. No, we've monitored from Bunch Beach all the way to the Lee County Collier line, and there was nothing this morning.
How many turtles would you say you saved over your lifetime?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even
Take
want to
a guess.
conjecture. Let me say a lot.
Thousands or millions?
I don't want to.
We're
throw
not going to
numbers
hold
out
you
there.
to
No,
it.
no.
All right, dear. I know you had a question. I kept interrupting you. Relax.
So how long is the gestation period? But by the time they lay their eggs and they make their way to the sea?
Very good question.
Thank you.
It takes the turtle about an hour and a half to lay the eggs. Then she covers up the eggs. The eggs are about 2 feet deep in the sand.
Okay.
It takes the little hatchlings about 2 months to
Oh, okay.
develop. And interestingly, what some people, a lot of people don't know, is that the temperature in the nest determines the gender or the sex of the turtle. If
that's interesting.
if the nest temperature is 84 degrees and lower, it'll be all boy turtles. If it's 86 degrees and higher, it'll be all girl turtles. And
Wish we'd
somewhere
have known
in
that.
between that
I
pivotal
would have made sure the house was
temperature-
cooler.
pivotal temperature, 84 to 86 degrees.
Wow, just
You'll
that
get about
two.
a 50-50
Wow.
hatch rate. So it takes them about 2 months to hatch.
Wow.
And the hatching process is absolutely astounding. These eggs are about 2 feet down in the sand. The hatchlings all have to hatch at the same time out of the eggs. The eggs are soft, so when the hatchlings come out of the egg becomes like a carpet, and then they're in a room. And they've been bent in half for 2 months.
Right,
or so.
right.
It takes them about 3 to 5 days to straighten up. They absorb the yolk. They get a little
Nutrients.
belly button.
Mhm.
And then the oxygen, I imagine, gets very thin in that nest. And then they start scrambling around in there like a fire ant nest.
Mhm.
And they work their way up. The sand filters down and builds the floor up like an elevator. Hatchlings do not crawl through sand.
Okay.
Hatchlings, sea turtles are air-breathing reptiles. They breathe as we humans do. So they work their way up. And then just before they reach the top of the beach or top of the nest, they stop because they don't want to hatch in the daytime. They're reptiles.
Right. So
If the sand is 100 degrees, that
they know.
they know.
Do not
So
come
they
out.
wait until the sand above their head is cold or cool, and that's usually about 2 or 3 hours after sunset. And then they all come out, little noses stick out, eyes stick out. What they want to do is find the lightest spot, and the lightest spot is usually the seaward horizon, and that's how they know to go to the water.
Horizon. Got you.
That's
See,
how
I didn't know that.
To us, the seaward horizon looks
It's
pitch black.
right, gone. Right,
Mhm.
But
right.
to the hatchlings, because they see in the ultraviolet range, the horizon is their beckoning light. So that's why if there's a light in a condo
Somewhere
or a
else,
light
it's
in a
going to
house,
confuse
they
them.
Yeah.
don't know the difference between the artificial light and the natural light that
So,
guides them.
is there some kind of law, like if somebody purposely interferes with this whole process? What's that guy going to jail or what?
Well, there are laws. These are the primary laws.
So people
Florida-
should look for this if they're
Yeah.
on the beach. That's what the
That
sign
and
looks like if you're on the beach.
I mean, just for instance, any person knowingly violates any provision,
$25,000.
$25,000,
Wow.
or penalty up to $100,000.
Can you imagine
Serious,
Yeah.
serious.
going to the county jail and you're sitting next to somebody for armed robbery and he says, "See, what were you in for?" "Well, I stepped on a turtle."
Well,
How's that gonna go over?
knowingly,
That
it's
guy's going to get his
I
butt
know,
whooped.
but it's knowingly-
That's different.
Yes,
Yes,
an
we're
accident
We're talking
isn't
about,
it? Right,
that's what I
knowingly
mean.
We're
disturbing.
talking about criminal behavior.
Right,
Yes.
right.
We're talking about
So,
criminal
is there a way
behavior,
for people to volunteer and help?
Sure. Every beach access from here to Collier County has Turtle Time's telephone number. They can call that number, or they can email or look on our website, www.turtletime.org.
Love that website. As soon as you log on, there's a
turtletime.org.
turtle. There's a big turtle.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
They're so
They are
graceful.
so beautiful and graceful. I was out paddleboarding last year, and looking around, there wasn't, and I ran across a smaller. I have no idea, but
You
it was a
encountered it, yeah.
smaller, and he or she was swimming around, popped their head up. It was amazing, and they are really. They're so
stunning.
cute and they're
beautiful.
beautiful. Yes.
And they're the caretakers of the oceans. I mean, there's a reason why the sea turtles are protected. Each species has a specific function in the oceans that we depend on. We humans depend on.
How long can they live?
Sea turtles on the average live maybe 70, 80 years.
Wow.
They're not
So
like
they're
the
gonna
Galapagos
collect social
tortoises.
Oh, please, dear. Don't
Social
try and
Security.
crack jokes. So,
Wow.
so out of, did I ask this already? I've already forgotten. Out of how many, like all these turtles that race to the ocean, to the sunset, to try and make it to China, how many actually survive? Like
One
out of
to four.
one out of four.
One
Like when they
to-
make it
one
to,
four.
when they make it to the
out of
water,
1,000.
how many actually survive in the water?
Well,
That's what-
100% can make it to
Really?
the ocean.
Yes.
I mean,
However, what happens in the ocean,
Right.
again, that's a
That's
number
the-
that's based on years and years of research, on beach documentation, on number of nests, and their mathematical systems that the researchers, that's way beyond me.
How do-
That's how they determine these numbers.
How do they tag and who tags?
There are definitely programs that tag. Sanibel Captiva Conservation
Mhm.
Foundation does tag. They use satellite tracking also. They put a
On the
satellite
turtles?
device
Cool.
on the turtle, and this then determines and gives information where they migrate, where
Mhm.
they hang out, what happens after sea turtle season is over, where they go. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
In fact, people can go on that website and follow certain turtles. They have names, and you can follow their
Wow.
track. It's
That is cool.
marvelous.
That
They don't.
is
They
cool.
have cameras. They don't have cameras in the water or anything to watch
You
that,
know,
do they? That
actually,
would be
there-
kind of cool.
There, I attended an international symposium, and somebody had done that. They put a camera, a GoPro thing, on a sea turtle, and we got to watch what that turtle did and what it did when it encountered another turtle. It was fascinating.
Well,
It
you
was
know,
stunning.
you think the fish are out there going like, oh, they all set up waiting. Here they come again. Here come those silly turtles again at the same time, and just sitting there waiting for them.
Again, it has worked for 200 million
All
years.
right, Eve. All right. I'm just
Now-
trying to
And
play
the
some
hatchlings,
scenarios
by the
through.
way, just maybe this will reassure you a little bit. The hatchlings swim nonstop the first 24 hours. They swim.
So the
they just keep
fastest swim survive.
Yes,
How
and
far do they go?
That's what I was going to
Oh,
tell you.
sorry.
About,
You can
This
feel
is fun.
free.
This is
See,
fun.
we told you.
about 20.
She was so nervous at the
about
beginning. Now,
20
now we can't
miles.
stop her, dear. She's talking over us.
Well, we can never
Okay.
stop you.
I'm on a crawl
Roll here.
No, crawl. Okay. about
Everything's
20
got to be turtle talk with you, Eve.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
About 20 miles offshore is the Sargasso seaweed floats. If you're boaters, you know what I'm talking about. The seaweed that floats on the surface of the water, of the ocean.
Huh.
Little hatchlings, that's their goal, to reach that as quickly as possible. They hang out there for about a year or so. It's called the lost year. Back
Like a gap year.
Sort of. They live in there, they hide in there, there's food supply there. The Sargasso seaweed does not stay in one place. It actually is in the currents. It gets catapulted down into the Caribbean,
Wow.
and hatchlings will, continue to grow. And then 30 to 50 years later,
Yeah.
the loggerhead sea turtles, those survive, they will come back to Fort Myers Beach to lay their nest. 30 to 50 years.
Wow.
Incredible.
They have
They have it
great
down.
sense of direction, unlike someone sitting to your right.
All right, Eve. Well,
They're imprinted on our beach. They're
That's-
imprinted on whatever. We don't know what the imprinting process is, but we do know we need not interfere with the
Right.
imprinting process. And part of it has to do with their scurrying across the sand to reach the water.
Let me ask, what should someone do if they see a sea turtle nest that may not be already roped off, or if they saw a sea turtle in trouble?
They can contact Turtle Time
Okay.
immediately. However, I mean, we're out there, as I said, about half an hour before sunrise, and we mark in each and every nest. We certainly appreciate all eyes.
Uh-huh.
If we miss something, it's my volunteers are really
They're pretty
really
eagle
the-
eye, turtle
absolutely
eye.
the best. And yeah,
turtle eye. Does crow?
And
Is
each-
that crow ever help out if there's a
we
turtle in
send
distress?
yes, we
Mhm.
take our injured or weakened or diseased sea turtles to Crow. Yeah, it's
Great.
a wonderful place for.
It
our
is. We had
turtles.
them on, so we.
So, how can people get in touch with you, and what do you want them to know? We're running out of time. I apologize. It flew by, and we could probably
You're
do a whole
welcome
hour
back,
on this.
though, now that we
Oh,
got
thank you. Very
you.
much. I might. How about
Oh,
at
good.
end of season?
All right,
for
That
the
would be great.
Turtle
great,
report.
awesome.
Yes.
Have people. They can go on the website, and there's a way they can contact me by email.
Okay.
Awesome. Eve,
Turtletime.org.
turtletime.org, everybody. Eve, thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you
out.
so
We
much.
appreciate
Thank
it
you
very
for
much,
having
and
me.
come back.
And
Thank
thank you
you.
for the temporary
All right.
tattoo. I'm going to get to put that on.
All
Right now, I want to tell everybody about our good friends, Nikki and Ed at FMB Designs and Remodeling. Nikki and Ed are longtime beach residents and have been in the design and remodeling business for a very long time. If you need anything remodeled in your home, I want you to give Nikki and Ed a call today. If you need a kitchen remodeled, a bathroom remodeled, maybe your living area is boring you to death. Call FMB Designs and Remodeling. What about those ugly cabinets? It's time you spruced them up, folks. Did you see the before and after pictures on the
did, and
website?
I wanted
Stunning.
to say to you,
Yes.
they were so nice. She was so nice last week to offer, if someone was listening and mentioned that they heard about them on our show, that she would throw in a free vessel sink. And I would like to sweeten that deal.
But what do you have to throw into this deal?
I gotta lean in here. So if you mention our name, that you heard it here, la 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 la, they'll do the vessel sync, and then we have a brand new in the box faucet, single faucet, the tall one. I don't know how, it's the one that goes with the vessel
Did you run
sink.
this by, Nikki?
No, but I mean, it's free for people.
You're
It's
trying to get it out of the
nickel.
garage, aren't you?
I am. I ordered it and it didn't work. So
This wasn't one of your Goodwill purchases, was
no,
it? Okay.
no. This is new in the box.
All right.
Everything's together.
Good call, dear.
So there you go.
So
Sink
give
and a faucet.
FMB what?
Designs.
And remodeling, dear. Very good. A call. They're a sponsor now, so you better learn it. What's the number, dear? All right, I'll give you
239.
I'll give you a break on that. 362-8408. That's 239-362-8408. And we appreciate those guys sponsoring the show. FMB
Yes, and
Designs
they're
and Remodeling.
local people, buy local.
That's right.
Contract local.
Right. Excellent, dear. So
right.
we're going to introduce our second guest now. Very special guest, Paula Kiker is going to join us. Paula, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate your time. I want to make sure your mic is going. How are you? That's
Great,
the first
thank you.
question. How are you doing is the first question.
I'm doing well. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Kim, very much.
We appreciate you coming on
Yes.
so much. You came with, I think, at least 2 tables full of family and friends, and I know there are more tables down there that are here just to hear you. What's it like to have the kind of support that you've had and that you're still getting after what happened?
Larry has been sick for some time, and we, being in the political fanfare of our lives, we kept it quiet. But anyone who had the opportunity to see Larry saw that he was ill, and so we've had a lot of well wishes and support and guidance, and my family's incredible. They were here really the last full month of Larry's life, helping me with everything, and we've been having a lot of great giggles, a lot of laughs, a lot of memories, and of course, Fort Myers Beach, was his home, and everybody here is, as we all know, pretty awesome.
So
Pretty awesome.
for anybody that's new to the show that doesn't know what we're talking about, that's from out of town, Larry Kiker was the mayor of Fort Myers Beach a while back for 5 years. Was it 5 years?
Yeah, he was vice mayor his first year, and then mayor for 5 after that.
And then he ran for county commission and was elected. And how
Yes.
many years was he the county commissioner?
6.5 years.
6.5 years.
Yeah.
And he passed away from cancer last Tuesday. And the service for Larry was 3 days ago in Sanibel, and over 600 people showed up. What was that like for you?
Oh my gosh. The county and a gentleman by the name of Randy Thibault, who is the owner of Land Solutions, basically those folks got together and they put the entire program together, and the facility, Sanibel Harbor Resort, that was always a very special place for Larry and I. We did a lot of staycations there, just this side of the causeway. And it was beautiful. And everyone I asked to participate just hands down said absolutely they wanted to be a part of it. So it was really a very flawless event. And the outcome of the folks that were there, it was just really beautiful. And when you sit there, you don't get to really observe everything. But I saw the YouTube yesterday with my family. We watched it again, and the honor guard, everything was just really amazing. Yeah,
That's nice. Now this political stuff really started after you guys moved down here, because he kind of had a career before all of this.
Well, Larry
true?
likes to call these things sabbaticals. And he's had many in his lifetime where he had a career, then he took a sabbatical, then he changed careers and he had a sabbatical. So, as I wrote in the obituary, he did a used car sales. Then he went into he was a used car.
I saw that. Did he work for IBM?
Yes. So after the
Wow.
used car thing, he made some money. He decided to do the corporate thing.
Yeah.
And after a couple of years, they're like, Larry, you don't even have a college degree. And he's like, yeah. And he
Let me
goes, well,
take
you
care of
can't
that.
have this job. So they they sent him up to Northeastern, got his MBA, and he did the corporate thing. And when it got to be kind of a negative environment,
Mhm.
he said, I'm going to go fishing. And he bought a boat and he moved down to Newport Richey and started a charter business, but always wanted to be down in Islamorada.
Nice.
I can,
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah.
So he was trucking through here and ended up at Fishtail Marina, met Al Durrett, absolutely fell in love with
Cool.
Fort Myers Beach and said, nah, I'm going to stay here.
And he was, so he was a captain and and a dive master as
Dive
well.
master as well. And so he did that for about 12, almost 13 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a long sabbatical.
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, it was fun. We met a lot of great people, but that's really truly a hard life. Those guys out on the water every day.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, what were the conversations like between you and Larry when the last few weeks? I mean, and believe me, if I ask something that you don't want to answer, she'll say something, and you feel free to say
Oh,
something.
I
But
can punch him.
Yeah.
I have a long arm.
Oh, Larry and I are, for lack of a better term, we're very practical people, and we thought we could beat it. Larry fought very, very hard, but he always just wanted to make sure everyone was taken care of. And up until really the last couple of weeks, and a few people have said it, he was still answering the phone. He was still taking calls. He was like, hey, I'll be there next week. Very optimistic that we could beat it. And, if we were sitting there and he's like, now we can pay these medical bills, right? And I'm like, yeah, we're okay. So he was just very practical till the end and so gracious to the staff down at NCH. He loved those girls down there and those guys who took care of us. And it was, we watched the Masters together, and he was so pleased when Tiger won. He had a big smile on his face. And so, we got to spend a lot of one-on-one time, and it was great.
We had Mayor Anita Saracita on last week, and she was telling a story, I think, about him answering the phone while he was in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just get better and take a break.
Yeah. No, he was always there for everybody.
And that's, she said that she was, had many nice things to say. It was obvious they had long history and, spoke very, very highly of him.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you both started was, and I didn't really know this until recently, was the putt and pub crawl. Did I say it right?
The putt and pub crawl in January.
Started that.
Yep, 8 years ago.
Why?
So Larry was on council, and the social seniors from the Bay Oaks group came to council and begged for a coffee maker and a card table and a few other things. And the council had no money. And I said, this is just so sad.
For a coffee maker?
Yeah, well, we've been broke many years here on this beach. So they were asking for these, what I thought were incidentals. And the town just couldn't afford to do those things. So I said, well, we need to have a fundraiser. And some dear friends of ours had told me about this putt and pub crawl that they had in Indiana. And I said, well, let's do that here. And Larry said, oh, it'll never work. I said, come on, we're Fort Myers Beach. And we raised about $5,000 that first year. And the social seniors were so grateful. And so then we basically chose a different entity each year. And most of the times it was for the kids, the baseball, the soccer team, Bay Oaks again, Island Arts. So we thought it was really just great to keep the money here on the beach. And
it's grown every year. This last year now it's divided up. Is that right?
Yeah. So last summer I got together with Beverly Milligan and the group from the women's club. And with Larry getting a little sick, we thought we were going to be campaigning again for another term for Larry. It just got to be a little bit busy, and we just thought that would be a great venue to take it over and keep it going. So, and they did a great job this January, a great job.
Yep.
So, at some point, Larry knew what was going on. What was he saying? What was he thinking? What was he saying?
Yeah. So, November, December timeframe, he wasn't feeling well. And we, you run the gamut of tests, and he actually ended up being diagnosed with mono initially.
Mhm.
And what we found out a little bit later was folks with mono at his age, it can develop into lymphoma very quickly, very aggressively. So the team at Florida Cancer sent us to Moffitt, and we were able to get in 4 days, which is pretty unheard of. And so the folks at Moffitt actually were the ones that diagnosed him. And they said it's the most aggressive, but it's the most treatable. So we were pretty optimistic from the get-go. And the chemo was going very well, but it's some of those nasty side effects of chemo, what they, what it does to your body that, he couldn't beat. Yeah.
And so at what point until when he passed away last Tuesday, was there a certain point where, oh man, this is not turning around? And what do you say to each other about
You're getting
that?
close.
I know,
dear.
dear. I know. And you can stop me at any time. I apologize.
Well, we've been in the public light for 8 years, so we're used to these questions.
Okay.
So it's without getting intimate into the details, Larry had a lot of stomach issues and basically was unable to eat for a long time and lost a lot of weight. And, they even put a feeding tube in him the Friday before the Masters. And, they were talking that this would help. And in a week, we were going to go to rehab. And, we had a plan, everything, and I think Larry started getting very concerned in his mind that, what if this doesn't work? And then, our chemo got postponed and he was worried that he was going to start the chemo over. And I think probably at that point, he probably said, I'm not sure I want this anymore. The pain was incredible.
Okay.
So I think it was kind of at that point that week that he decided.
Okay.
And he was at NCH and then went to.
Yeah, here's a dilemma for you. We called the head of emergency management systems here in Lee County, Ben Aarons, and we're like, we're not doing well. We got to go in the hospital. And this was March 23rd. And he says, I haven't got a bed for you.
Oh.
You got to go to Naples. And I said, well, when a county commissioner who basically oversees the emergency management systems, and that guy says, go to Naples. So we went to Naples, and it was really actually, that group down there on 4 South, they do a great job. And it's a cancer floor, and so very good to their specific needs. So it's really where we needed to be.
Mm-hmm. And so he was down there. Were there any other agencies involved? Any other groups?
Well, the palliative care group, and the Hope Hospice at Health Park. That was, I don't know how they do their jobs, but they do them very, very well.
Things
very well.
them.
Yeah.
So
what do you want Larry's legacy to be, and people to think about when they think about all that he's done for this beach and for the county, and up until the last few days of him being with us?
Drew Steele has a radio show, and he and I spoke on Thursday. I guess he did a little thing about Larry, and he said at the end of the day, Larry was a human being and not a politician. And, most everybody knew him as just that guy who always just wanted to give a little more, never gave up, always said, don't tell me no, tell me how I can do it, find a better way. And he loved this beach, and he loved these people, and the balance that, our little town has. And again, I put it in the obituary. It's really hard to run a town this small that is so big with tourists.
Mm-hmm.
And what Beverly Milligan did with the ETA, I hope somebody picks that up, because the businesses here, they were very, very important to Larry. And we don't have a voice here in that, and it's difficult on this small island. So he always had it was always a 3-2 vote, the 5-0 implementation plan. So even if everyone didn't agree, that was the vote, and you need to stick behind it, and you need to move forward.
So are you going to stay involved with things, and I'm sure you
Well,
want to decompress at some point, right?
Larry and I had a plan. We always thought what
You
was
don't
going
have
be
to
the
share that plan if you don't want to.
I'm not going to share that plan just yet, but
Oh, come on.
No.
Dear, she was going to share the plan, and then you told her
No.
not to.
No.
Yeah, of course I'll stay involved. I miss the circuit. All those folks are our friends. It's important to give back to the community always. I own a business still here. The mayor and the vice mayor, Anita and Ray, and I had a little conversation at Larry's Services, and I said, okay, you guys, you get some things taken care of down there, and I'll be moving back. So we'll see if that happens.
So not to make light of anything that went on at the ceremony, but what really stuck out the most? Like, was there one thing that happened, or one thing somebody spoke about, or a person that got up there that was the biggest highlight for you?
Everybody was so great. And I heard so many comments afterwards. Stan Stouter is an incredible speaker and also a beach resident, lives on the North End. And he's very powerful in his words. And, I say words are powerful, but the music, the fact that, Randy Mercer sang, and Terry Stewart, who was our town manager for a number of years here. I don't know if a lot of people really knew he had that powerful a voice, and then of course our very own Joe List and Mary Winter sang. And so that was a little bit more upbeat towards the end. But I would say Terry's song of My Way. I don't think I ever really listened to those words until that day. And they were very spot on. And it was really powerful. Everybody loved that.
Who would be the perfect person to be the next commissioner in that seat that was occupied so well?
Besides me?
Are you gonna
There you
run?
go.
Wow, wouldn't that be awesome? Are you thinking about it?
I think that Larry would not want a politician. I think he would want a servant of the people, and I think he would really want someone who really understands that they are there for the people and not for any fame, not for, any one person to just feel entitled.
Well, that sounds like you, though.
That's spoken like a true politician. Like that was part of the plan. And so, but would you consider that?
That's
a really yes or no question, Paula. I mean,
every time Larry and I talked about an election, or every time, Larry ran for election here because he didn't like what was going on, and he might have not cared for how things were being done. When he ran for county commission, same thing. He felt there were things that were, there were entitlements that shouldn't have been there. So he was never called a politician, always just a guy that had an ear and listened. More and more and more, everyone said, Larry always listened. Larry always listened. And that is a very hard talent for people to have, just to sit on the other side and make sure that he knew both sides of the story. And I hope that the outcome is someone who portrays that very strongly.
all righty. I think that door is open, dear. I'm not really sure that was a yes or no, but that was a great answer.
Well,
so
she left.
I said
Yeah.
never say no.
That's
What
right.
can
Oh,
happen?
all right. I
That's
must have
right.
missed that
She
part.
left it open.
Well, anything else that you want to pass along to all your great friends and the family and the community and the residents in Lee County? Have at it.
Yeah, no, just thank you. Thanks for the ride. Larry and I have had an amazing life here on Fort Myers Beach. It would have been 24 years this month that I met Larry, and every aspect has just been incredible. And I look forward to another 24 years of giving back.
Well,
I
you
do.
are wonderful to come on
Yes.
and rock solid, and we
Yes.
appreciate your time.
Thanks.
So soon and-
Really admire
Yes.
your ability to
Yes.
show up, and now I'm gonna see.
Yes.
I can't even talk. So
Well, I just want you to know,
really did
I
great.
said no to Wink, but I'll say yes to
Thank you.
Ah.
Thank you. Well, you want more of an audience,
So-
you're going to come on this show. So
I will say now, consider us if you decide to
That's
make
right.
a run for
That's
something.
right.
Consider
Yeah.
breaking the news with us.
All
We'd
right.
love to have you back again.
We're good
in
at
I
being-
any
promise
event.
I'll do that.
We're good at
All
being
right.
very one-sided. That's right. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Big
for what you
hands
guys
for
do.
Paula,
Thank
you.
everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. and she's got one of the biggest audience we ever had here. So thank you, Paula. All right, folks. You are listening to the Florida Podcast Network, the voice of Florida. I think our next guest is down at the other table, waiting for. I don't know if she's there. Yeah, she comes.
Here she comes.
The voice of Florida. FPN is committed to promoting you while they promote Florida. If you're interested in elevating your Florida brand and becoming part of the voice of Florida, head to floridapodcastnetwork.com/partner for more information, to download a media kit, and for more contact information. The Florida Podcast Network, local voices, supporting local brands and businesses. Welcome, Heidi, to the show. And don't
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you very much. You have a full table over there, which was nice.
I know.
Thank you for that. Now, Heidi, how long have you been a beach resident?
8 years.
8 years. And you were recently appointed to the Public Safety Committee, right?
Yes, I was.
Why? Why did you want to be involved in politics?
Well,
Why does anybody want to be involved in politics?
boy, here we go.
Does that
What is the public?
does that qualify?
Did you guys watch any of the hearing of the bar hearing and the guy with the Kentucky Fried Chicken thing? It just makes it
Are we
embarrassing.
talking about the Public Safety Committee?
Yeah,
or the
right.
Kentucky
I
Fried
know.
Chicken
I
guy.
gotta
You
get my
better
pu- I gotta
stay
get my-
online here.
Oh, please. Do you know my husband,
know.
Mr. ADD?
He's like a Mexican jumping bean.
Yes,
from one
squirrel.
thing to the other. Yeah, squirrel.
So
Turtle.
you want me to leave and so you guys can have your little girly conversation? So why did you decide that you wanted to be on the Public Safety Committee?
Because the lighting on our island is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was running this morning down the street, and you have to have a light. And that's, on the beach it makes sense, but on the street, why aren't there street lights? It's a good question.
Well, we have to comply with the turtles.
Yeah.
Even on this side,
Yes.
it's so far away from the
Yep.
beach.
Yeah.
Damn, turtles are in charge of everything down here.
Well,
Well,
this time of year the turtles are in charge.
They rule.
The
Turtles
are in
rule.
charge, which is fine.
So how could you overcome that?
Yellow lighting,
So
That amber
we can-
lighting that she
amber
spoke
light,
of,
yes.
right?
but they can also do lighting that is brighter during the busy season down here and lighter during turtle season.
okay.
So there's options.
So where are we on that?
It's a good question. We're waiting for their study to come back.
I would imagine it's not inexpensive to adjust the lights. You with the microphone, up, down, where should it be? Is this
So
good?
yeah, stay on focus, please. So the other topic I want to talk to you about is the bicycle safety. Now that's a big part of the public safety.
It is.
Okay. You guys had started with signs that were so high in the palm trees that are so high that nobody could see them.
Nobody.
Then you painted, not you paint. Did you paint them? Maybe
I
you
did
did.
not paint them. No.
You painted the town painted 3 big white. It looked like Ghostbusters. The theme for
Yes,
Ghostbusters.
it did.
3
Good one.
white big circles that say you can't bike on here. They're riding right over them. This morning, I don't know if you saw my sign. It
I
says
did.
bikers. Oh, you just see the video?
I saw it.
Bikers must dismount. Put it right in the middle of the sidewalk. And as they were riding by reading it, they stayed on their bikes.
Of course.
Well, what is the solution to this? They're going to run
There
over a
is-
child.
Well,
What if they run over a turtle? That'll be all hell breaking loose on this beach. They squash
Maybe
the
they
turtle.
need something
it's
auditory,
somebody
like
who
a
doesn't
buzzer.
cross in the crosswalk. They cross next to the crosswalk.
Well, yeah,
People
well, they're
don't care.
yeah. So how do we resolve? I want to be involved in the bike thing. How do we fix the bike thing?
Well,
They
That's
don't
under-
want you involved because your ideas are going to be too
I think
outrageous.
being
Here
that-
we go.
Being that my sign didn't work, I'm going to bring a bullhorn next week.
there
I'm
you go.
just gonna
Get a
stand here
megaphone.
with
They
the
sell them
bullhorn.
on Amazon. They're like 20
I
bucks.
have one. No, I have
Oh,
one.
he had.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do I
Please.
need a permit for that, or can I just let it rip?
Well, that I don't know. I think you can probably just let it rip.
All right, so you're working on the yellow lights. You're not really working on the bike thing. I didn't hear like you were getting anywhere with that, right?
Well, we are. We're trying to get some things in order where bike shops have to have lights and on their bicycles because if you rent a bike,
Right.
anybody actually should have lights on their bike, whether it be day or night.
I'm with you on that. I'm a biker, but requiring the stores to be responsible for that, I always thought that was a dumb idea.
All right, but
Why
why
is that a dumb
because
idea?
because you can't make a business responsible for a numbnuts that comes in and rides a bike without a light. It's not fair.
They're renting the bikes. What
Okay,
do you want?
explain it to them that they need a light, but if they take the light
So-
off, they shouldn't get in trouble for it.
No, you're wrong.
The business should get in trouble. Well, the biker could say the guy at the shop never told me. Right? It's the same thing with the way station with the
When you rent
explosive.
a bicycle on the island,
Yeah.
you sign a piece of paper that has all kinds of rules on it, which
Seriously?
we know.
Yes.
Yes.
To ride
so
a
those
bike?
rules will be in there that you have to have a light on your bicycle.
Right.
So if you're coming here for 2 days and you rent a bicycle and you
Yeah.
know in these rules that has to have a light on it,
Right.
where are you going to go buy a light?
I don't even know where do you buy a
And-
bike at a bike store, right?
Well, I mean, you could truck up to
Walmart.
I've got
the
9
big
of
box
them.
up there,
I got it
but
from Amazon.
I know,
Well-
but you're riding your bike all the time. You're talking about people that come down to leisurely ride a bike. Are they going to seriously go buy a light?
Oh, so
For
you're
the front and the
requiring the
back.
bikes to have lights on them?
Yes.
It's
Oh,
like
okay.
you rent a car, it's got headlights.
exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if I like that idea.
What?
That's
You know,
It's part of the equipment to
it's
be
called personal
legal.
responsibility.
Ed, have you
It's
ever
just-
Oh, my
been down
Lord.
here,
I'm going to. It's a good
and
thing you're far away.
drove your car, walked the sidewalks
Yeah.
at 10 o'clock at night?
No, I don't. I can't
All right.
stay up
He's
past
not
8
even
o'clock.
alive. Yeah, no.
Right.
There we go. So now you need to stay up late one night. You need to come down here, and you need to see all the people in dark clothing
Well,
riding around on their bicycle, and you can't see them because they don't have lights on
well,
them.
you're not supposed to ride your bike on the sidewalk anyway, right? You're supposed to be in the
Doesn't-
road. Is
My
that right?
point exactly.
Oh, okay. So if I stick
So
my
I'm
arm out
driving.
and the
I'm
biker
driving
falls,
down the road in my car, and all of a sudden, poof! There's a bicyclist
I think we
because
should
I
just.
can't see
I
him.
think we should just ban bikes from the beach. Solve the problem.
Oh, you're talking.
No, no. The other thing too is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the rule is to give bikers 3 feet.
Yes.
You know,
it's a 3
so-
feet rule.
If you have a biker on southbound and a biker on northbound, and they happen to pass at the same time, and they each need 3 feet, you're running out of feet.
You're exactly
You're
You're
running
down
out of
to
room for the vehicle
middle
now.
of the road,
Right.
hoping there's not a car coming the other way.
My fourth solution for the bikers in Times Square is electric fencing.
I knew we were going to
That
get
would-
to
Electric
something.
fence.
It's just going to take one or
Archaic.
two to
Yeah.
flip over, and there you go, something like that, or tase the guy.
Well,
Have Deputy
you've-
Dan come down and tase the guy. Or we could do what your uncle does. Yeah,
My uncle.
your uncle. Yeah, what has he got? A slingshot with
Oh, the
marbles.
slingshot.
Oh,
Yeah, as little kids are coming by the house
That-
off the school bus,
that
he's
is
got
not
a
what
slingshot
he
with
did.
marbles.
Oh my goodness. I hope they're not watching way
Oh,
out in Utah.
Your dad's watching in Orlando. He asked the craziest question when the turtle lady was on. I have no idea what's going on with
He
your dad.
loves-
He's getting up in years.
He loves conservation and
Her dad-
animals, but go ahead.
Her dad thought he was going to live like he thought he was going to live like forever. He was
He's still,
taking,
that's
you know
still
what?
his
He
plan.
was taking supplements, so he thought that was going to, make him live
He
forever.
feels like the technology is going to come.
you never
So,
know.
what else is going on at the Public Safety Committee?
Not much.
I'm glad you're sitting in between us, though.
Yeah, because I'm going to reach over there and knock you out.
So we got the bicycle safety. There was something else. Anything with the homeless on your committee?
No,
Seems to have died down.
That's not on our committee.
All right, so
Crosswalks.
Crosswalks.
we're gonna get more crosswalks.
We're working on items that are in the next section of the construction for where crosswalks should be, trolley stops should be, benches, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
What about bike racks?
Yeah,
Is that
we-
part of your?
that's
Yes.
I think
Yes.
a bike rack right here is a great idea. Why not? Why don't they? No.
Why would you put it in the middle?
Why not? I think
You
you
don't
should
want
put
them
it.
to ride their bike through here, so it should
Well,
be put at
people
the end.
coming anyway. Once we
Yes, you
once
put
we
it at the end so they can park,
Park
their bike.
they're
and
not
walk
doing.
through.
Nobody's parking a nice looking road bike at the end where they can't see it. It's got to be where they can see it, and they're always going to be at peace.
How about they bring a lock?
Well, that's true, but these bikes are like $10,000, dear. They're not parking their bike at the end of Times Square. Why not just put it in front of that ugly dumpster?
People are parking their cars in the parking lot.
It's
and
a
they're
little different. Nobody's going to steal the car. People.
No one's going to steal the bike if it's
I feel
locked.
sorry for you.
Dear,
I know,
people
don't you?
People care more about
People
their
should
bikes than
spend
they do
money
their
just
cars.
for me and my mental health. I
No,
gotta deal
seriously.
with this.
Seriously, when we hit them with the electric fence on the end, they're going to have to walk it down here anyway. So,
There you go.
Put it right here in front of the dumpster, and then blocks the dumpster right there. Look nice right there. Instead, you know what they're doing? Look, look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. They're wrapping them up on the tree.
That?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, except for I'm sure that it's not great for the palm trees.
Tree people might
That's
not
right.
like
You
it.
got a tree. We had a turtle person. We had a tree hugger walking around, and that's the end of it over there.
So they're looking at putting bike racks at all the beach accesses.
I don't know that it would be at all of them.
Okay.
Actually, there is one right down there. It's a small one, and then there's one on the other end of the bridge, right on the other side of the bridge.
I don't know. I was reading something in the minutes about that. Someone was saying that
The minutes to what?
the minutes from their committee that
I've never read your minutes.
on Old
Come to
San
the
Carlos Boulevard,
Watch it
there's
on
a
TV.
rack that is unrecognizable. And I was like,
What do you mean?
I don't know. That's
it's not
why
really
I was,
a bike. Oh, they made it look like some kind of piece of art.
no, I don't know. I don't know if the person was saying that it was old and it needed to be replaced. But I was like, how do you not recognize I don't know how a bike
Well,
rack
they
is
don't-
unrecognizable.
They don't recognize the bike rack like Ed's sign.
This is true.
They don't recognize. Oh, that's right.
See?
So, can I get you beer or anything?
Oh no, I'm good.
You're right.
I gotta go. I got things to do this afternoon.
Yeah.
Ed.
What do you got on your agenda today?
I'm going to see Dow at the tattoo shop. Get me a little ink.
Oh, what are you getting?
I was given a little temporary tattoo from the Turtle Time lady, so
Dear, I
that's
don't-
what I'm gonna do.
I don't think she's getting anything temporary. dear.
No, I
What are
know.
you getting? What's coming up?
Whale's tail.
A whale's tail. Why? What's the significance to that?
I want. That's what I want.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
what
I don't
that's
know.
what she
I
likes.
guess people get tattoos. I thought people get
Yeah.
tattoos because there's some kind of meaning to
I
them.
mean, some
Or
do, but
emotional.
some people just get what they like.
Yeah.
If you got a tattoo, dear, what would you get?
Oh boy, I don't know.
Surely not your name.
No, we
And
would never do
surely,
it.
yes,
We're
Nope.
not that close.
not your name, no portraits, no none of that.
I was thinking maybe the Beach Talk Radio logo. That would look nice.
That would be a hard no.
Yeah, I agree with her.
That would be a hard
She'd probably
no.
get her daughter's name. It's going to be a rough day for her tomorrow. She's moving
Not
out.
even to yes, 4:00 tomorrow
Ugh.
morning. We head out. So
Empty nester.
yep. Yeah, my turtle nest is going to be empty by
So-
tomorrow.
So she's driving her in the Hertz truck, which she bought
The
or
Penske
rented.
truck.
The Penske truck, Hertz,
Not
Penske,
buy a
whatever.
Penske
There-
truck.
She rented one too big,
Yeah.
so everybody's worried that the furniture is going to be falling back onto
No,
the empty
I
spot.
have it roped. I have that roped in. It's going to be how to secure the boxes effectively so that everything stays. And then we now have to go through, and no one knew this, and
What?
neither did I till yesterday. Folks, if you rent a rental like moving truck, you have to stop at every way station,
Yes.
I
just
didn't know
like the
that.
regular big trucks. So I'm going to be driving.
You can do it. You
that
can do it.
60
So,
I'm
I have a
gonna whip
question.
that thing right around.
I have a question for our listening or millions of listening people. Has anyone ever gone through a move in their house where they're loading up a truck and there's not a fight in the family? It was nonstop arguing yesterday.
Yes.
You did it?
I did it.
Wow.
But my
Did you
husband
do it
was
by
working.
yourself? Okay. No family. Holy moly. Yesterday was brutal.
It wasn't brutal. I think it was par for the course. It's hot.
Uh-huh.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
You know, people don't want their stuff ruined.
Uh-huh.
You and I have done it a ton of times.
So she's driving the truck up and everyone's going up and I'm staying on the beach tonight. So if you're going to be hanging out on the beach, people, we're going to be hanging out on the beach tonight.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
This would be a good opportunity for him
For-
to come out
I'll
in the
need to-
evening.
I'll need,
And see what I'm talking
I'll
about.
need to take a nap first. If I'm going to be up at 10 o'clock
See?
tonight, I'll need to take a nap.
Yeah.
By the way, we're going to be broadcasting live with two special guest hosts, being that the wife's not going to be here tomorrow at the Taste
Taste
of
of the beach.
Yeah, that's going to be at 11 o'clock. We're going to be live on, I think that's
So you're
Oldest
going to
Arrow.
be there since you're up early. You're going to be there helping set up, right?
Nah. I'm going to
He's
be out
got to
bike
come
riding.
home and let the dogs out and say
Yeah.
goodbye.
I'm going to be
6
bike riding. I'll help if
6
they need help.
o'clock.
If you need
You're going to be
somebody.
here tonight. We need help
Yeah.
with snow fence tonight, 5 o'clock.
All right. I'll
See?
help
There you
out.
go.
See?
5 o'clock I can make. I can manage 5
Yeah.
o'clock. 10 o'clock would be rough. So anything you want to say to your friends down at Hoosiers?
No, come on, see us.
And you work Sundays or every day?
Nope, not Sundays anymore.
Oh,
Nice.
Usually Wednesdays and Fridays.
awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate your dedication to the Public Safety Committee. And
Thank you.
I look forward to working together with you on the bicycle safety. We're going to get this resolved. If it's the
Okay,
last thing I do on earth,
All right.
because it really bugs me.
Well, yeah,
If you
come
keep
to
it up, it may be the last thing
I'm
you
going to
do
come up
on
with a
Earth.
solution
you
a
should
week.
come to the Public Safety Committee.
Who's on the
meetings
committee
and
with you?
speak at public comment.
I want to make sure nobody's mad at me from that committee.
What doesn't
Is
matter?
Roger to that meeting?
Well, sometimes.
All right. Who else? No, everybody on that committee I love. I
Maybe
love
they
everybody.
can get you a little safety
Just
patrol
joking,
Yeah.
vest.
Why don't you
Yeah.
come speak at public comment and give us your ideas?
I don't know. I'd go right to the mayor. I don't need to go to that committee.
Oh,
I have
No
direct
one can
connection.
Listen to him. He's not.
I know.
He's not a
I have a
resident.
direct connection to the top. Yeah, I don't even live
No.
down here. So
Doesn't
anyway,
matter. You ride your bike down here.
I do, and I have 9 lights on my bike
Yes,
because
he looks like
I
a
don't really-
Christmas tree.
I don't
That-
really
that-
care so much about running a person over. I don't want to get hit by a car. It's just
Exactly.
common sense to have a
we
bike
have
light.
Christmas lights on our bicycles.
Very good,
There you
very
go.
good.
They work wonderful.
Well, thank you so much for
You're
coming
welcome.
on.
Thanks,
Have
guys.
a great time. What did you say you were doing today? Oh, you got a tattoo.
Getting a tattoo.
Yes.
Will you send me a picture of the tattoo so
I
I
will.
can post it on the Facebook page?
I will.
Awesome.
Half today and half in a couple weeks.
Do you want to give the tattoo parlor? They still calling that a plug?
Yeah, it's Dow is located right under Hoosiers and right next to the Salty
that's
Dog.
right. That's right. Salty Dog. We're doing
Yep.
some negotiations with Carla Pine.
Oh, nice.
Can't tell you anymore. It's just like to leak that out there.
We need to.
Is that what you
have
refer to as a teaser?
Yes, yes.
You need to
Okay.
come to Carla's painting class.
Yes.
I know. I
Ooh.
over the
It's
summer.
a little
my,
addicting.
Is that what
my
you paint in the
schedule's
nude?
better.
No. Well, go with
For
it, dear.
those
Come
who are
on.
just listening, we all just dropped our mics on the ground because of his inappropriateness.
Oh, stop. It's 10
Oh.
o'clock now. All the kids
All
are
right.
asleep. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, that's PM. All right. Thanks so
All right,
much for.
you're welcome,
I didn't
guys.
mean to- if
Thank you,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Big hand now, everybody. For Heidi. Thank you.
You gonna give me 2 mics?
Let's see. I want you to put one down, which is
Okay.
number one. Oh, there we go. You put that one down. That is a loud mic. Was that the one you were using?
Yes.
Wow, we had a stellar audience today, dear. Big audience. Of
Yes.
course, Paula was fabulous, and she was a ratings bonanza today. Everybody loves Paula and
She
love
is
Larry.
fantastic.
Loves Larry. Yes, she did a great job
yeah,
today.
held it
I
together.
don't think I wasn't holding it together, but
I
I,
know.
don't think I could. But that was fabulous. So tomorrow you will not be here.
Nope. Leaving at 4 a.m.
4:30. 4 a.m.
4:30.
4:30. So that
You
means
know-
by the time Jillian gets up, it'll be 7. So
No, we got to
yeah.
get up, and it's going to be a long 10 hours plus.
So one of the things that I did want to bring up with somebody, I don't know, maybe I guess we could talk about it for 30 seconds, is this plastic straw ban that the state is thinking of abolishing. Like, right, they don't want communities to make laws where you're not allowed to have straws. And so a lot of the people on the beach, I don't know where that is. I don't think they voted on it yet, but a lot of the businesses on the beach are already doing the paper straws. And so I wonder what would happen when they repeal that law. Like, you're not allowed to make a law that says.
You're making double negatives here. What?
So there's an ordinance on the beach now.
Yes.
That you're not allowed to have
Plastic
straws because
Right.
I guess it kills the turtles or the birds or.
It's bad for the environment.
gets
They
in the
end up
water.
on the water.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so the state is considering a law where you can't pass an ordinance that
Gotcha.
says people are not allowed to use plastic straws.
So, but people could still, business owners could still
right.
opt
But you wouldn't get in
to-
trouble if you brought a plastic straw, I guess, if it passes.
You might get the stink eye.
I wonder, you get the stink eye, but I wonder what would happen. Like, who's in charge then? Is the state in charge or is the beach in charge? That'd be
I
interesting.
guess that's, yeah. Who's
So-
able to tell who what?
Yeah, we want to thank the mayor for coming on last week. She spent 45 minutes with us, answered every question, and Stella was fabulous. And the council meeting is tomorrow, everybody. So you have to get involved in your local government. And
The
if you
council
people,
meeting is tomorrow?
yeah, isn't it tomorrow? 9:00. It's on the Facebook. I mean, the YouTube. It's on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. Oh, it's tomorrow's Sunday. My bad. I meant Monday. Why are you looking at me like that? You know what I meant. I meant
I'm like,
Monday.
what?
It's Monday. You know what I mean. It's Monday at 9:00.
Squirrel.
And there's an issue coming up Monday that we've been following closely, and I want to see what happens. Like, one of the residents on the beach was granted a permit, and somebody in the neighborhood complained. He's building a dock.
Okay.
Somebody in the neighborhood complained. Well, the guy was told to stop building because of the complaint, even though he had a permit. Now, I'm not sure if I have all the facts because I haven't been to the committee or to the council meeting on this, but that's the way it was explained to me.
Okay.
So we'll
And
see
your
what
point
happens
is?
tomorrow. That if the government grants you a permit, you shouldn't have to answer to somebody's complaint. I'll give you one guess, maybe three, who
Nope.
the complainant is.
I'm not doing it.
Chris Patton. Yeah. Lawsuit crazy Chris Patton. The one that's stunted the growth of Margaritaville. But that puppy's coming.
I'm sure it's going to be a temporary thing. It's going to get resolved.
Oh, here we are again.
And
You're
we're
going
going to
to
be.
All right. She's on
we're
her
gonna
goody
be
two shoes
having
slant,
parrots
people.
on our shoulder.
Yes.
And
Oh, I can't wait for
toes in the
that.
sand.
Yeah. Wow. Did you see the video rendition of Margaritaville? That I think it's on the Wink website. It looks pretty awesome. It's been viewed like, I don't know, 700 million times
No,
now.
I didn't see that.
They have, they did a rendition where you could see it from all the different angles, and they have people, I don't know how they do that. Like, they have people walking like robots.
I don't think
Looks pretty cool.
rendition is the right word. But,
Well, it's a video, whatever.
yeah.
All right. So what else you want to talk about before we say sayonara? Because we don't want to overdo it. Tomorrow is another show.
Well,
Anything else? Did
no,
you have a topic?
No.
You're not
no.
bringing anything to the table this week?
I brought the moving thing to the table. That's been on my
I know. Tomorrow's going to be
mind
teary-eyed.
and stomach, and I'm ready to roll. But I am really, really, really sorry. I'm going to miss Taste of Fort Myers Beach because I love food and especially seafood. So I hope that they will extend an invitation next year.
Dear, I think
and
you get one shot.
will-
Once you turn people down like that, and you reject
No,
them, then
please.
yeah. Well,
I turned
hopefully.
you down. You came back.
That's a good way to end the show. All right,
Thanks,
everybody.
folks.
Thank you all for tuning in on Facebook and on YouTube and on Spreaker and on iHeart and all that stuff. And thanks again to FMB Designs and Remodeling. We love those guys, and we hope you spend some money with them because that would be super cool. And that would
Your
mean
free
that
sink.
and that would mean that we help them out. And if you need us to help you out, well, we're out of spots. No, we have one spot left. Just kidding. All right. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And if you need anything, just call Kim. Her cell phone number is 239.
Don't do it.
I'm kidding. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hello. Shut everything down here. Oh, we have people listening. We have people watching. How are you? Oh, thank you. You never know if you're going to ask something that is borderline, but try to be. Oh, thank you. Okay. I brought you out twice today. Yeah. Except we're in secret negotiations. Hey, what's up? Thank you. I got you guys. I got you. Oh, well, it's just him now. Well, she's coming down tonight, but she can't stay. Well, she can stay. Because she's leaving in the morning. It's right across. No, I went by it today. Oh, yeah. So you're upstairs. Yeah, two bedroom. Nice. Oh, nice. Oh. You know what I did? I brought that up with Julie to come down. I was thinking maybe we'd come down and have dinner at like 10 or something.